So let's look at a couple different example problems where we need to find the area of a circle. And to do that, we need the formula for the area of a circle, that it's equal to pi multiplied by the radius of the circle squared. Where the radius, remember, that's the length from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle, so we'll call that r. And pi, we know, is approximately 3.14, though in reality it's an irrational number that has an infinitely long decimal expansion. And this problem wants us to find the area of a circle with a circumference of 18.84 units. So we're dealing with circumference, so we also need that formula. And we'll use the formula in terms of the radius. So the circumference is twice pi multiplied by the radius. So the approach for this, since we are told that c is 18.84 units, is to first use this formula to find the radius. And then once we know what the radius is, we can plug it in to our area formula to find the area of the circle. So let's start by using this equation. We can say that 18, let me rewrite that, 18.84 is equal to twice pi multiplied by the radius. And we can plug in our value for pi. So that is just 3.14. So we have twice 3.14 multiplied by that radius. And this is really 6.28. So if we divide each side of this equation by this 6.28, this twice pi, we would get r by itself. So we get 18.84 divided by 6.28. That's just this product simplified. And this is equal to our radius. And if we carry out this division, we will get a radius of 3. And now that we know the radius, we could plug that into our area formula to figure out the area of the circle, to figure out how much space this circle actually takes up. So our area is pi, which is 3.14, multiplied by our radius squared. So that's 3 squared, and 3 squared is just 3 times 3. So we get the 3.14 multiplied by 9, and we can put that into our calculator so that we get 28.26, and we're dealing with just units here. So this, since this is area, we will have square units. And you get the square units since whatever your radius is, if that's in units, you're multiplying units by units, and so that's how you get square units. So let's do one more example problem. And we need to find the area of the following circle and enter an exact answer in terms of pi, or just use 3.14 as an approximation for pi. So in this one, we're told our diameter. We are told that d is equal to 8, where d, again, that's just the diameter. So we're going to need the formula for the area of a circle. And this formula is usually written in terms of the radius. Now, we could write it in terms of the diameter, since we know that the diameter of the circle, that's the length across the circle through the center point, is equal to twice the radius. Since remember, the radius is from the center to the edge, and we can look at that both directions. So the diameter is twice the radius. And if we want, like I said, we could rewrite this in terms of the diameter, or we can just figure out the radius and then plug that in. But if you want to see this in terms of the diameter, let's just solve this for r and plug it in here. So the radius is just half the diameter. And if we plug that into our formula, we have that the area of the circle is pi multiplied by the diameter over 2 squared. And if we square this, so that's d over 2 times d over 2, we're going to get pi, let me rewrite that, multiplied by the diameter squared divided by 4. So you could use this version of the formula, though usually you don't see it written this way. It's simpler written in terms of the radius. So in all likelihood, you want to just find the radius here, since the radius is half the diameter, and from there, you can just plug it into your normal area formula. So the radius is 4, so if we plug that in, the area then is 3.14 multiplied by 4 squared. So that's 16, since 4 squared is really just 4 times 4. So 16 times 3.14 is equal to 50.24, and we just have units again. So this will be in square units. And we really should be careful. This is an approximate answer at this point, since we use an approximate value for pi. So you just want to be a little bit careful with that. Now, if you want the exact answer, we can just use the symbol for pi. So we can rewrite this as the area being exactly equal to pi multiplied by the radius squared. And again, that's 16. So the area as an exact answer is 16 pi. So either way you want to find the answer, these are both valid, though this is an approximate decimal. If you do want it as a decimal, you will have to approximate it, or you can leave it exactly by using the symbol.